The following contest is a six-man tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by the best boss in Virginia, the director, Mr. Jerry Stephanitsis, and a total combined weight of 999 pounds. The team of AC Myles Hawkins and the Reason.
Jason Heat here alongside Brandon Metheny for Virginia Championship Wrestling as this assortment of hired guns quarterbacked by the Reason makes their way to the ring alongside the Director of Operations, Jerry Stephanitsis. You see my partner Brandon gently lowering the ropes for our boss, and one has to tread carefully when speaking about the Director of Operations. So I'll simply say boss.
Hold on just a second, wait for me, okay? So I'd like to wish, actually I'm not going to wish for anything.
Introducing their opponents, at a total combined weight of 757 pounds, the team.
Very clearly, it was not expressed to the Golden Pink Society or Dezmon King. There's a reason for that. NRG rules named after the tag team NRG. One half of that tag team, the Reason. This is the Reason specialty match. This is yet another example of the decks being stacked in the favor of Jerry Stephanitsis and the Reason.
This is another example of the genius of Mr. Stephanitsis. This sort of thing, Mr. Stephanitsis takes advice, takes pointers, takes ideas from all of his employees, at least the ones who are polite to him.
Especially his number one stooge, the Reason.
His number one student, the Reason. And this match is going to give the crowd what they want. It's going to give the fans what they're looking for, and that is what's going to be most important here, because that's what Mr. Stephanitsis cares about.
The Reason starting off going up against Dezmon King. We recently saw Dezmon King put in an incredible effort despite the loss to the former VCW champion Logan Easton LaRoe, and also even more recently came to the aid of the Golden Pinky Society given this vendetta that the Reason has had against them, which I still don't fully understand. If you can shed any light on it, I know you are drinking buddies with the director and the Reason.
Well, first off, the Reason is far too healthy to be drinking at all. The man is a health nut. He is a nutrition machine. But I certainly have spent some time with them, and their answer is that the Reason wants to make sure that the BCW Tag Team titles are being held in the highest regard. The best way to do that is to make sure the champions are getting the best level of challengers they can possibly find. There's nothing nefarious about it, Jason.
Certainly have defended against some of the absolute best. Just a sample of the teams the Golden Pinky Society have defeated in the last year. The Metheny, the Sigma Males, Kingsglaive, the former champions Black Wall Street. That is a who's who of the tag team scene.
And it's just proven how good the Golden Pinky Society is, which is precisely what the Reason that Mr. Stephanitsis want. They want to make sure the best competition is shown here for our fans because that's who we care about. And now, Big Adonis Cole entering the ring.
Yeah, Big AC indicating that he wants one of the members of the tag team champions. AC, a mercenary. Dezmon tagging in Benjamin Banks. Absolutely no fear in Benjamin Banks. And these are two big boys about to go at it.
The word mercenary has a lot of baggage there. Just a lot of judgment.
And Adonis tagging Myles Hawkins, sort of a blind tag to his own partner, and the 99 overall not looking too thrilled about it.
It was a surprise, but he's ready. He's 99 overall. He's always ready to rock and roll. Don't you worry about him. He can take care of it. And now look, Banks doing the same thing. He's afraid to take on Myles Hawkins.
I think Diamond Victor Griff just really wants a shot at this young, up-and-coming star. Myles Hawkins has been so impressive, especially in, I thought, just like a spot-cementing performance against Dirty Money several months ago. 100% believe that Myles Hawkins is a future champion. Look at that!
Myles Hawkins, very smart, playing to the crowd, sees Diamond Victor Griff playing behind him, and delivers a kick to the midsection. Wow.
Diamond Victor Griff turning that around in a hurry, and Myles Hawkins is exactly where he does not want to be, in the corner of the tag champs and Dezmon King.
Listen, Jason, I have known Diamond Victor Griff for well over a decade. He is one of the shorter men here in BCW. Do not doubt for a second the power that man has.
Or the height he can get. Because Benjamin Banks is not one of the shorter men on the roster.
No, he's not.
That leapfrog just cleared it.
That was incredible athleticism by Diamond Victor Griff. Really remarkable stuff. And looking like the man who won a ladder match for the Liberty title over a decade ago.
Wow. The impactful offense of Dezmon King is something to behold. Pound for pound on the roster, there are a few that are stronger for him.
And you remember, Jason, the last time we saw Dezmon King in a BCW ring, he took Logan Easton LaRue to the limit with a pretty seriously injured elbow. The fact that he was able to do that with a pretty significant injury says a lot about him, and really, you got to believe that there is gold in his future.
Fantastic cohesion, not only from the tag team champions, which we may have expected, but also Dezmon King. This is the makings of a fantastic trio.
Perhaps Mr. Stephanitsis will introduce a trios championship, you never know.
Myles Hawkins considers himself the 99 overall, such an innovative professional wrestler, specifically in how he gets in and out of moves and combinations, and I'm curious to see how he's going to get to his corner, which he desperately needs to do at this point. Instead, well, the tag has been forced, and that means the Reason is now legal. Dezmon over top two.
And Dezmon is still legal. Someone has to actually choose to come in the ring. If they don't, then that person stays legal.
And now the Reason, basically a tag out, AC on the outside, and there's no one on the apron to get in at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's technically the legal man right now.
Technically no one. The first person to enter the ring will be legal. Dezmon King, I think he's not about to be legal for a moment.
What is he gonna do?
Up and over, and he just flew into the trio of the Reason, Hawkins, and AC.
And you know, a lot of times in a move like that, Jason, you'll see a flip, you'll see a dot, something like that. That was a straight shot. That was just pure momentum right to them.
An absolute tank, a real unit. Dezmon King lifts weights, and it translates.
You would have to be blind to not figure that there is big stuff in Dezmon King's future. It's that simple.
Reason was the first to be rolled into the ring, so he has the unfortunate distinction of being legal after taking the effective human bowling ball to himself. Yikes!
That'll shift the momentum pretty darn fast.
That's gonna shift a lot of things pretty darn fast, including your potential to create offspring.
Yeah. And now the reason, just that fast, that's the intelligence. That is the ring awareness, the ring generalship, back in control, and now big AC tag back in.
This is our first chance to really see the big AC in action here in VCW. Trains at the same facility as Myles Hawkins when the reason was looking for a third. Myles offered up AC as an option, and he did not disappoint. If you're looking for someone who likes to come in and beat someone up, AC is a great choice.
Oof. Big leg drop there. This could be it.
And a big cover. I mean, with the amount of weight, with the total mass that AC has, anyone attempting to kick out from a lateral press, that's so much energy and effort they have to extend.
And it really makes any cover a potential victory simply because of that mass, because of that weight, because it's just so much more to kick out of.
A cover from AC is effectively a secondary offensive move.
Very well put, yes. And
great reversal there by Dezmon King.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone float through a fisherman suplex. That phenomenal stuff.
But even more impressive, Myles Hawkins held on.
And the thing that's really impressive there is having that ring awareness to do that. Having not just going, okay, a panic because you got pinned, sticking with it, seeing it through, and then turning into an offensive move for yourself.
Jerry Stephanitsis and the Reason have been holding these young lion challenges, trying to scout some of the best young talent. I think there's been very specific reasons they've been looking for him. And clearly, Myles Hawkins has caught their eye. You can't fault them for that whatsoever.
No, they have very good judgment. Myles Hawkins is phenomenal.
Driving Dezmon King's head down into the mat. The Reason returning recently to the ring after a long time away, and he has looked in better and better shape every time we have seen him grace our presence in the ring.
He has, and he's also had longer and longer matches. Very, very impressive to see. Not just the strength, the conditioning is there as well.
Those dual avalanches were just the appetizer. This is the main course.
I think the ring just moved.
Dezmon King has been squashed, and only one leg, and a tactical mistake, possibly the advantage that AC has with his mass. It's very possible if he had gone for a full cover, Dezmon King would not have been able to get out. Yeah,
I appreciate the ego there and the strength, but in that situation, you got to go for the win. You really do.
This trio.
Dezmon King in a very bad way right now.
This is a first-time unit. Myles Hawkins getting in the heads of the tag team champions who have been relegated to status on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, it's not enough just to injure them. It's you have to mess with their minds too.
Perfect positioning on that cover by Myles Hawkins, blocking Golden Pinky Society and really being able to assist Dezmon King. Now the Reason is legal.
And this trio really showing impressive teamwork, keeping Dezmon King isolated on their side of the ring. Frequent tags, hitting with big shots. It's been very impressive to see them work together. As far as I know, the first time.
The Reason and Myles together, I think, have been working very effectively. It does seem that there's a little bit of dissension at times with big AC.
I wouldn't call it dissension. I just think there's a certain selfishness, perhaps.
The Reason spinning Dezmon King around and going for a second cover. It takes so much energy to kick out twice in a row. Now Reason going for a third.
I mean, King's been in there for so long and been tossed around so much. It's not a bad decision to try to for those multiple pins.
Reason grabbing Dezmon King by the hair, an ultimate sign of disrespect.
And I look like Reason tagged both men, so I'm not sure it's legal.
Trying to maximize the 10 count so they can perform as many opposition moves as possible. Big AC yet again. That's the second time he has delivered that to Dezmon King.
I don't know how King's still kicking out. I really don't, Jason. He's been hit with everything in everyone's arsenal and just somehow stays on it. Not on his feet, but he's kicking out at least.
Incredible resilience by Dezmon King. We saw Myles Hawkins trying to play defense via offense, but that momentary distraction, Dezmon King was able to capitalize, and now finally,
oh, Hawkins in the wrong corner.
Victor Griff is in. That's the thing about these NRG rules, it's hard to remember. You actually don't have to reach your partners. You can just slide right out of the ropes, and taking advantage of this unique rule set could be a difference maker here in this tag team match.
It really could. When you spend your whole career having traditional tag matches, though, it's hard to remember. It really is.
Cutter to AC. And AC has rolled out to the ramp, and I do believe that Myles Hawkins is still technically legal because he never left the ring.
I believe you're correct on that, Jason. An impressive counter there, just basically grounded himself and didn't let him go down with the move.
That's those innovative combinations. Blue Thunder Bomb, leg hook to Myles Hawkins.
Okay.
So incredibly close as Diamond Victor Griff rolls out. That means Benjamin Banks is now legal and catches Myles Hawkins in midair.
Benjamin Banks has lost a lot of mass in the last couple of years. He has lost none of his strength.
And none of his heart. He has really held this team together. He has been the glue of the Golden Pinky Society. AC is huge.
Oh, heart. No, it's not Captain Planet. Go in there and win matches.
They do. They have. The Golden Pinky Society is nearly a year into a tag team title reign. That's unprecedented. That's exactly what they've done, Brandon. They win matches.
By hook or by crook, sometimes I think they'd be more effective in other ways. Although watching these two large men just bounce off each other is very enjoyable.
Something's got to give, and it might be the ring before it is either Benjamin Banks or Adonis Cole. Something tells me we're going to be here for a while.
I think so.
Two trains just collided in the middle of Norfolk, Virginia. Don't have to check the news. I've got the report. That was a collision.
And remember, those both count as tags, both men rolling outside.
Two of the most dynamic men in this match. Two of the top prospects in all of this company, Dezmon King and Myles Hawkins. This is a one-on-one match I'd love to see.
Mr. Stephanitsis is on the ring apron. There must be something very important. Take your hands off of him!
Dezmon King taking his career in his own hands. I understand being frustrated, but Jerry Stephanitsis wields a lot of power here in this company.
Thank goodness the reason was there to save Mr. Stephanitsis.
Hyper wheel. And Myles Hawkins going up. That's a far distance. Myles Hawkins nails it. Incredible.
Here are your winners, the team of the Reason, Adonis Cole and Myles Hawkins.
It took Jerry Stephanitsis effectively utilizing executive privilege to distract his longtime nemesis, but it doesn't take away from the victory nor how impressive the hyper wheel is in terms of its power and the incredible athleticism, the dynamic offense of Myles Hawkins. We are looking at a future champion in VCW.
Myles Hawkins is a star. He's a future star. There's no question about it. And I would take issue with your comment, Mr. Stephanitsis. He clearly saw something that was important. He got on the ring to respect. He's a man of the people who wants to make sure the fans are seeing the best of the best at all times. That's all he was doing. I'll have none of your slander against him.
This was effectively 4-on-3, but the records books are going to show the director's team, Hawkins, Reason, and AC victorious. The Golden Pinky Society are going to have to figure out how to solve this problem they have, and that problem is the Reason.